bad kind that enters your home without a warrant. My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime. You can just give them more room to breathe. My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime. You can just give them more room to breathe. But I understand, can you imagine the shape you have to be in to deport black people?
Did y'all feel all that hate? That was not a joke. That was just hate. Because there's nothing funny about wishing harm on another community. It's nothing funny to wish that harm comes to another community. The black Americans in the audience were not laughing, and this man clearly is not living up to his stereotype of being smart, because there's no such thing as an undocumented black American. Black Americans cannot be deported. And he want to talk about crime. Let's talk about the massage parlors, right? All that human trafficking, all that sex trafficking. Where do you think the terms came from? Me love you long time. Human trafficking, sex trafficking. Maybe ICE need to pay K-Town a visit. Maybe ICE need to pay Chinatown a visit, because I'm pretty sure they could save a lot of kidnapped women, a lot of women that's being trafficked from these industries. So it's funny how, you know, nobody wish harm. The black American community never wish harm on another community, but the hate is always out there towards black Americans. No one's even thinking about Asians, right? And you have this joke. What about the ICE jokes? The people who's rounding people up, right? Then Trump said like 80% ICE agents was like Latino or something like that. What about the jokes towards the Latino community that's actually rounding y'all up, right? Man, the hate is real. There's no allies.
With ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime.
Mind you, we are being targeted. Black people are being targeted by ICE raids. If you wanted shit to feel equal, it is. We're dying too. Like, I don't know if you're like, oh, we're not dying enough, we're not getting raided enough, but it is happening. But I'm gonna let y'all community handle it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, this Asian comedian thought that it was okay to go on a podium and make fun of the black Americans. Because what do you mean you're saying that you're not okay that the ICE agents are not targeting the black Americans? Like, that literally was giving pick me energy, because why would you say that? And that is why the black Americans keep on saying that they do not have allies, because even the minority groups, they always act as though they're better than the black Americans. Now guys, I would like us to dive right ahead and watch some of the reactions from the black Americans. Stay tuned, and also let me know what you think on the comment section. I will be back with more commentary.
Problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime. You can just give them more room to breathe. But I understand, can you imagine the shape you have to be in to deport black people?
Did you get picked? Like, I know some of the people in the crowd were laughing with you, but the shit wasn't funny. And knowing how uneducated people are in America, especially about black Americans, you can't convince me that some of the people that were voting against their best interests were doing that so that black Americans could potentially be terrorized by ICE. Like, I remember the rhetoric in February and January of last year. Then they were like, oh, ICE isn't going to come after us. We're citizens, and we're naturalized citizens. They made an amendment to make sure that we have our rights. And that's when some of these people were like, wait, black Americans actually have rights? They treat them like shit, but they got rights? They got more rights than us. This is making me angry. And it's just like, it's crazy how much these people hate us and how much they're willing to bend the white supremacy to get a little laugh off the backs of black people. And it's just like, shit wasn't even funny to begin with. And it's just, yeah, man, I don't know. Like, why is everybody so concerned about black Americans all the time? I really don't get it.
being black in America is funny to everybody except us, because we actually have to live through all the BS. We've had to live through it, and we continue to live through it. And now we have comedians who are finding humor in their racist jokes against us.
My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people.
The Stop Asian Hate bill was symbolic anyway, so I guess we can bring it back. If you know anything about Hans Kim, you're not surprised. This is the same man who made this comment about The Little Mermaid.
Come back to America and what do I see? Black Little Mermaid. One of the races that are known for being one of the worst at swimming.
This is the same man that ranked his least favorite racial groups or ethnic groups.
Number 1, least favorite minority group, according to Hans Kim, is
the blacks.
At some point, I think you just hate black people. You might be wondering, why would someone do this? Especially since a lot of these jokes are very tired. You know, we heard them in the early 2000s. You might be wondering, like, well, why are we still doing this in this day and age? And I mean, he might actually, like, hate black people. I'm assuming at this point he does, because that's just his material over the same years. He makes $300,000 a year, maybe more now, to say these mediocre racist jokes.
Make like 300K, so 30 weekends.
Dude, that's insane.
So the theme of people of color aligning themselves with whiteness can lead to capitalistic gains, which we've talked about over and over. It's true. And you see these sellouts, you see these creators who sell out and pander to white people, and you wonder why. There's money to be made for them. And I've said it before on this channel many times that I find comedians who make these types of very shallow, tired, racist jokes are not actually comedians. They are not talented enough to be comedians. But his main venues are all small towns and small cities, and those make racist white people laugh the most. And you can see it in all the videos. Who's chuckling the most? It's the racist white people. Besides the obvious, don't make racist jokes. The only thing I want to leave Asian Americans, especially Asian American creators, if you're talking about topics, think before you drag another group in. Is it really relevant to the point I'm making? You know, we have our own issues, the model minority myth, the pandering to whiteness. Like, we have a lot of those issues that you can talk without actually dragging anyone else in or dragging someone else down. And that's the thing that I think a lot of Asian creators need to, like, be more cautious about. Do you really need to bring up another community to make your point? Because I think that's where a lot of us get into trouble. So hopefully we can do better. And to Han Kim's, you need to fucking grow up. It's gross. Like, how long are you going to be dancing for these white people? Forever?
My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime. You just give them more room to breathe.
If you're Asian American, the only valid reaction you should have to that video is disgust and, frankly, embarrassment. And now, when Asian communities are under attack, the fact that we're still throwing the black community under the bus shows how desperate some of us are to cling to this proximity to whiteness as our saving grace, as if that is going to keep us safe and protect our families when it never has before. A lot of us talk about how Asian discrimination and racism is downplayed, but it shouldn't come as a surprise when so many of us are so quick to disavow any solidarity with other communities of color. If you are part of an immigrant family, I know you know how rampant anti-blackness is in our world, and to see it perpetuated in the name of humor and an unfunny joke is embarrassing.
Most of these people are usually white adjacent. That's why they're usually very okay saying some of the nasty things about the black Americans just so they can get the attention of the white people. And you know what's even wild? Is the fact that even at this day and age, even after realizing that they are not an exemption to the system, they still end up spiting the black people. I think at this point it's safe to say that their hatred is not rooted on fear, but racism. It was always about race, and that is very dangerous.
This girl got on the internet and said, black people, if you don't stand up now, it may be us today, but it'll be you next. Next? The American economy is currently destroyed because Caucasians literally tried to find every way to block black people from being successful, even though it would hurt themselves. I guess skinning black people and then wearing their face as mask was never a thing. Next, I guess stuffing the bodies of black people and posting them up by their doorstep was not a thing. Next, we didn't even want to have our children near Caucasians because of fear of death and or kidnapping. Next, baby, we were first. You don't see black people galvanized because we literally lit a bonfire and we literally said, hey, let's go, gotta get on the boat. And y'all stayed on Delulu Island. Y'all thought your proximity to whiteness, y'all thought because your pigment was a little bit lighter, that hey, they're just going to look over us and go back to those black folks. And for the simple fact that you said next shows exactly y'all don't know shit about black people. And even though we are first to do everything in this country, our oppression came first as well. Black people are the only people that stood right for everybody in this election. And y'all sat there and played stupid.
Now guys, that we have already established that it was always about proximity to whiteness, this is what I have to say. Never mistake proximity for protection. Standing next to authority does not protect you when the ties turn. Many people assume that proximity equals power. But this is the thing about power. It protects itself, not those around it or those beside it. Proximity is not a covenant. Proximity is not insurance. When pressure comes, restructure happens. And this is exactly what the recent ICE raids have taught us. The people that thought they are immune, they're now being targeted, and so many of them seem to be so shocked. Because they're wondering, how did we get here? It was never supposed to be us, it was supposed to be them, now implying to the black people. And that's why I keep on saying, once you teach the system that it can oppress one community, that it can oppress one person, trust you me, it won't take long before it does the same to you. Because you have taught it that it is an exemption to punishment. And this is exactly what many people from different minority groups are experiencing. Take for example the Somalis, the Latinos. They for some reason thought that they are better than the black Americans. And that is why even when the black Americans were calling out to them, trying to convince them not to vote for this administration, they ended up ignoring the black Americans. Because they thought that they were protected. They thought that they were immune to the system that was oppressing the black Americans. And that is why you're hearing so many of them all over the internet now confessing, saying now they understand what it's like to be a black person. But here is the question. Why did it take you experiencing the oppression that the black people have always experienced for you to understand what the black people have always tried to tell you? And that is why so many black people are skeptical to go out there to march with you, to unite with you, because they understand that at the end of the day, it is about you. You're not calling for unity because you want to resolve things, because you want to change the system, but because you want the system to stop attacking you. And once it stops attacking you, you go back to your relaxed mode. The mode whereby you don't care what the black Americans are going through, what they are experiencing, the challenges they're facing, all because it's not affecting you. It's so sad that this is happening to you, but whether you like it or not, the truth is that the black Americans cannot be deported. Okay? The black Americans cannot be deported. However, this does not mean that they are immune to the system. The black Americans have always experienced these kind of injustices. And for you to make such a joke about the black Americans, knowing their history, knowing the things that they have had to deal with for centuries, that was very, very inconsiderate, and I feel like that was very inhuman of that person. Black Americans do not owe you anything. Black Americans do not owe you any kind of unity. So if you feel like you're being oppressed, if you feel like you're being attacked, go and fight for yourselves. Just like the black people have always done. Like, you should love yourself enough to protect yourself. So stop asking for the black Americans to come out and fight for you and protect you, because they're not your shield. They already did their part. The black Americans are the ones who fought for the civil rights. That means that they are the ones who helped you, or who made it possible for you to come to the United States, for you to live there, for you to work there peacefully. And also they did their part during the 2024 elections. They voted for an administration whose policies they thought were for them and not against them. As opposed to many of you who went ahead and voted for this administration knowing very well what the policies were all about, because Trump was very open and very loud about what he was going to do once he becomes the president. And this thing makes me wonder, were you voting for this administration so that you can continue punishing the black people? Were you hoping that the black Americans would be the ones to be affected by this administration? I think it's time we do better. I think it's time we make better decisions, because you get nothing out of oppressing someone else. You get nothing out of criticizing another person. You get nothing out of hating another person. Literally nothing. Just know that when you unite, you are strong, but when you're divided, you become weak. And this is what the situation that you are in right now is teaching everyone. So it's time for you to make better decisions, for you to realize that hatred and enmity will not get you anything. And no matter how many times you try to fight the black Americans, the truth remains, they are your heroes. They're the ones that fought for you. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. If you're new here, this is Talk with Kate. If you haven't subscribed, kindly consider subscribing to this channel, like this video and share. Until the next episode, bye.